Episode 5. What are the benefits of fasting? Hello, CheckMark English listeners. If this is your first time listening to my podcast, my name is Mark from Vancouver, Canada, and I teach intermediate level English. Today's topic is very interesting to me because I've experimented or tried different ways to fast for the last 10 years of my life. To fast means to spend a period of time not eating food. There are some great benefits to fasting, which I will talk about in this episode. I'm very excited to talk about this with you guys and to share my experiences. Before we continue, I want to remind you that, again, you can read the free transcript of this episode online on my website at checkmarkenglish.com. They are in the transcript section. I also bolded and highlighted more difficult words for you to review. I also put the meaning of each word at the bottom of the transcript. Okay, everybody, enjoy the episode. I've been fasting in some way or another for the last 10 years or so in the form of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting means to have a schedule of when you eat and when you don't. Nowadays, or today, I get out of bed around 6:30 a.m. in the morning, and I don't eat anything until about 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon. The only thing I consume is black coffee. Consume means drink or eat. Instead of saying drink or eat, you can say consume to mean both. Black coffee means plain coffee that has no sugar, nor cream, nor anything else in it. I have a cup around 7:45 a.m. while I'm at work, and then I drink water until I eat my first meal of the day. My first meal is pretty big as I've gone a long time without eating. I then have another meal later in the day around 5:30 p.m. Those are my big 2 meals of the day. Sometimes I eat a small snack before bed. This is what I do on the weekdays when I go to work. On the weekend, it's similar, but just a little bit different. Now, the question is, why do I do this? What is the reason? Aren't you supposed to eat breakfast right after you get out of bed? Isn't breakfast the most important meal of the day? Based on my experience, or according to my experience, I love skipping breakfast. In the morning, after I have my cup of coffee on an empty stomach, I feel much more focused and mentally sharp. I feel that I'm more productive and can think more clearly. For me, I feel a big difference compared to when I eat breakfast shortly after getting out of bed. I could feel my stomach moving and being active. It makes me feel more drowsy or slow or sleepy. With no food in my stomach, I feel lighter, more energetic, and more mentally focused. The other reason why I do this is because it helps me keep my calories down. It makes me not eat as much food throughout the day. This makes it easier to keep my body weight where I would like it to be. I can even eat some sweets when I'm craving them and maintain or keep my body weight at a healthy level. Because of this long period of not eating, when I finally do eat, it feels much more satisfying. My meals are bigger than normal, which makes me feel full, like I've eaten enough. I much prefer this rather than eating many small meals throughout the day. I find that those meals never feel as good as a big meal. There's also a psychological or mental side to it. After getting some work done in the morning, eating feels like a reward, that I earned the big meal that I'm about to eat, that my productivity in the morning is being rewarded. These are the main reasons I fast in the morning, but I have also done longer fasts before. My longest being a full 2 days, 48 hours. The only thing I consumed was black coffee and water with a little bit of salt in it. There are many benefits to fasting for a long period of time, and I will talk about some of them now. Some of the terms and words I use in the next few paragraphs will be a bit more difficult than usual, so I recommend checking out the transcript for free on my website, checkmarkenglish.com. Improved insulin sensitivity. Insulin is a hormone that helps regulate your blood sugar levels. To regulate means to maintain or keep something where it's supposed to be. When you eat carbohydrates, or most commonly called carbs for short, like bread, rice, pasta, or any sugary foods, your body breaks down the carbs into glucose. This glucose is then absorbed into the bloodstream. The bloodstream is where the blood travels throughout your body. Then the glucose gets transported or moved from the bloodstream to the cells where it's used as energy. If you have low insulin sensitivity, your body produces more insulin, which can be bad for your health and can make you feel all sorts of negative things. Fasting improves your insulin sensitivity, meaning you produce less insulin when you eat. This has all sorts of positive health benefits, especially for people who have diabetes. Increased growth hormone. When you fast for 24 hours or more, studies show that your growth hormone levels increase by about 200 to 300%. This hormone is crucial or critical or very important for increasing muscle mass, improving fat burning, helping maintain bone strength, and, in general, maintaining overall health. Many bodybuilders will take synthetic growth hormones so they can increase their muscle size. Synthetic means not natural and is made by humans in an unnatural way. Taking this growth hormone has side effects or unwanted effects that can be dangerous for your health. Fasting is a natural way of increasing your growth hormone to levels that are healthy and not dangerous. With that said, fasting for too long is also not recommended. If you want to do a long fast, I recommend speaking with your doctor beforehand. Beforehand means before an action. Many studies have been done to show the increase in growth hormone during a fast. One of them is from the American Society of Clinical Investigation. The study showed a significant increase in growth hormone in both men and women after a 48-hour fast. The growth hormone level remained higher than average even after the fast ended. I will post a link to the study in the transcript at checkmarkenglish.com. Remember that viewing the transcript is free on my website. Increased autophagy. Autophagy is a biological term or word that most people have never heard of, including native English speakers. Autophagy is a process where the body breaks down and removes damaged cells and proteins. Cells is another biology term that means the little building blocks that make up all living things. During autophagy, the body recycles or reuses the damaged cells of the body to use as energy or to make new cells. When you fast, this autophagy process increases because the body is trying to use other sources of energy because it's not receiving any food. When your body cleans itself of damaged cells and proteins, there are many benefits, but mostly reducing your risk for many different diseases or illnesses, such as cancer, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. I put a link to some information about Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease on the transcript if you would like to read more about them. There are many other benefits to improving your autophagy, but generally, it improves your overall health. Improved digestion. Digestion is what your body does with the food that you eat. It's the process of breaking down the food you eat and turning it into nutrients and energy for the body. When you fast, a few things happen to your digestion. Firstly, it allows your digestive system to rest and not be active for a long period of time. This will improve how it functions when you eat, and it will help remove or get rid of waste that is built up in the body. Fasting can also promote the growth of healthy gut bacteria, which is very important for overall gut health. I can go into a lot more detail for each one of these benefits of fasting, but I feel that it would become too hard to understand and become too boring to listen to. So I will keep the benefits of fasting to the ones I mentioned. One last thing is that for me personally, I feel a big difference in my mental focus and clarity when I fast. Because of this, I looked it up online to see what others are saying and if there are any studies showing the same thing in other people. I didn't find any studies that showed an increase in mental focus or cognitive ability, but for me, especially after having coffee while fasting. It feels like my mental focus is heightened or enhanced compared to if I have coffee after eating breakfast. As I said earlier, I've been fasting for years, and I can honestly say that it's been one of the best lifestyle changes I've ever made. Before I started fasting regularly, I had a stomach problem that lasted for about 6 months or more. My stomach would be in pain and would make noises throughout the day. This pain was especially strong in the morning. It made me feel very uncomfortable, and it often made me feel like I had to vomit, which is another way of saying throw up. My digestion would also feel very bad, and I felt like I had to go to the washroom for a number 2 many times throughout the day. Going number 2, or having to take a number 2, means to use the washroom, not to pee. As you can imagine, going to the washroom to pee meant number 1. I'm not certain if it's because of fasting, but I haven't had that problem or discomfort in years. I feel like fasting could be the reason why. I used to have coffee in the morning with cream and usually something to eat with it. Nowadays, I only drink black coffee in the mornings, so my stomach feels empty and rested. I don't have those feelings of throwing up or stomach aches any longer. Thanks for spending this time with me for another episode. This episode had many words that were difficult to understand, even for native speakers, so I encourage you to read the free transcript on my website. If you have any suggestions or recommendations for me on what topics to talk about, or anything that you think will improve the podcast, feel free to send me a message on Instagram. My page is called CheckMark English, all one word. You can also email me at mark@checkmarkenglish.com. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thanks again, and see you next time.